So, not sure what to expect here. I'm hoping we get a good race with lots of different paths. Randomizer has not failed to entertain yet.
Oh, trust me, these randomizer races in general have yet to deliver any boring moments. If anything, it's delivered amazing fun moments. It's delivered, angst, anxiety-inducing moments where it takes forever and a half to get through something. There's all sorts of things that can go wrong in just these randomizers. And it looks like we're off and running.
All right.
Today you will have bad luck. Well, thanks, Grandpa. Like we needed to know that. Alrighty, so out of the gate we have a red rupee at Link's house. So, got a little pocket cash to start ourselves off with. Now, Desi, in your opinion, what are key items that you're hoping to find right away during a randomizer that make you smile worse than anything in the universe?
Oh, the number one thing is boots. Boots just make the world go round.
I have to agree. You know what's one thing I have yet to see that I would love to see in one of these, I'm not even just in the round robin match, but even like in one of the actual tournament matches, I would love to see mirror be one of the things that's like in the escape, where it's like right next to Zelda. It's like, here's Zelda, here's the mirror. Go figure it out.
Well, the nice thing about that is you get the mirror, you can, I think, warp from Zelda to the entrance, and then she'll still be following you. So it's rare, but it happens.
All right, as they make their way out of the guardhouse sewers, both players manage to find a +5 to their bomb count, so this will give them 1 bomb to hold for now, and both now have full magic thanks to our wonderful prize packs. So far we're prepped to go in case we get something nice and magical. You never know, get a little magic cape, maybe a cane of Burna, never know. Everything is useful.
And this is great because they'll be able to go ahead and take out those chests in the escape. The 3 chests on the side wall.
Totally, and now we got our second pick of the day. Got a +10 bomb, so now they have a max carrying.
Bombs.
Oh yeah, already you have a max carrying power of 10. The +5 brought them to 15, so now they have a total of 25 total bombs they could carry at any given time. Not like you need that many in this game, but you never know.
I mean, at the beginning of randomizer, you got all those bomb walls and Kakariko that you want to, because you got to go there first, right? And loot all the things.
Hey, fighter shield! Yay! This is a first. We're actually getting out of escape with a shield. This is going to be an interesting seed, I think. So now the big question is, with all these early bombs, are we going to see any indications that, some people might want to use bomb jumps or some possible cool bomb strats down in the future with this setup? Ooh, zer0rush here took a little bit of risk. It paid off for him. Threw a pot and then decided to go balls to the wall per se here and just swinging crazy. jkoper following suit. Almost got himself railed, but thankfully got iron ball and chain down in enough time. And we got the map inside this chest, so now we have 4 potential good items that could pop up at any given time.
Still waiting on a key.
And that's definitely going to be in one of the chests on the way by, more than likely. So, correct myself.
There's only 1 chest left for it to, yeah.
That leaves 3 good items, hopefully hiding behind the Sanctuary Blast Wall, so let's see. zer0rush is the first one to make it back up from the basement with a time of 3:45 in his game clock. So he currently has about, within 6 to 7 seconds of freedom for mistakes at the moment.
It's those early game seconds that really matter, right?
Absolutely. It's those early and late game gains that you can get. Like, if you can pull ahead in the early going and keep dominating on that, and then just sort of coast during the middle and let your opponent catch up, and then just hammer down in the end, you definitely got it good, but that also comes down to a lot of different factors. Is your routing good? Do you know what items link up to what could assist you further? Do you have the necessary items right now to do anything major, like start possibly a dungeon rush? Also, other things to pay into mind once we get out of here. We would love to see the world map because with the rules in this tournament, crystals can be in the light world. So you want to see if you got any light world crystals. Hopefully you got 3 of them. So that way you can start making an advantage plan, off the top of your head. And there's that key we need to move forward.
Where do you least want to see crystals? Imagine Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock and Ice Palace are the first 2 that come to mind. And if I had to pick a booby prize winner for ones I don't want to see, either between Mire or Swamp Palace, just because they're both equally as long and just gratuitous with backtracking.
I'll tell you, I like Swamp Palace because there's lots of opportunity to pick up good items in there. 6 chests, I believe, that could have good items in them.
And as we blow open the wall, we saw on zer0rush's screen, here we go, jkoper getting into now. We got 20 more rupees, 5 more rupees, so we got 25 in the chest, plus blue mail. So our basic defense is a lot better than it used to be. And that's a good thing to start with. And just pulling it off, we have zer0rush, who just nails a sub 6 escape. So that's actually pretty good, well played. And what was the nice little mystery item inside the chest?
I did not catch that. We're gonna see it the second time around with jkoper.
20 rupees. So altogether, they left with about 60 and some change from the escape. So that's a good start. We can see jkoper going a different route versus zer0rush. zer0rush is going up to see what's by the lumberjack and through the forest. Meanwhile, jkoper is going, you know what? I understand the village could be a good payoff, but I want to head down and head over to the ice rod area as soon as possible. Try to pick up some early gains, if where possible.
I can't say I'm a fan of this tactic, but I'm assuming it's worked well for him in the past.
Ooh, I think I just saw the flute on zer0rush's screen. I could be crazy, but I do believe I saw the flute in the lumberjack
If
areas.
so, this is an Aghanim screen. This is an Aghanim seed.
An Aghanim scream, huh? Well, it would be nice to add in a sound effect for him to scream when he dies. Hey, 300 in the forest! That is definitely something nice to walk up to. And we got a piece of heart off to the side for flushing out the water. And we got a +5, so we have 305 rupees on zer0rush's screen.
That's true. There is that possibility that Mire isn't a crystal.
Oh yeah, Mire can
isn't green, and Sahasrara doesn't have a needed item. All of these things. How do they keep track of it all? This is why I don't race. I can't.
Simple. You either do it or you lose your sanity in the middle of trying. And jkoper, his little camel, paying off nice and early here inside the little cave with the thief, gets himself the blue bloomerang, and he got the shovel plus some pocket change. So this is going to give him access to the Haunted Grove so he could check out what the Flute Boy possibly has. You never know. He could have Moon Pearl. He could have Mirror. That could definitely change the tide and flow of how this race is going to go so far. And right now we got for zer0rush getting some pocket change himself, also getting the Book of Medora. So now he has access to Desert Palace if necessary, plus some additional bombs. So far, well, one has taken the risk. Both are pretty much seeing their payoffs as it already starts out to be one can go one direction, one can go the other. I'm looking forward to see what the rest of Kikariko Village here has in store for us. And we got a glimpse, and I do believe I saw 3 flashing diamonds on the screen. So we have 3 crystals in the light world. So now here comes the almighty question. What are the lockouts, and what won't we have to do possibly in the dark world now?
So I did happen to catch that Eastern is 6, so that'll be a crystal of interest. Of course, they're going to want to hit all 3 of them.
Totally. With 6 being a crystal, the question is where's 5? So that's, you know, we're definitely going to have to see now.
I didn't catch what desert was.
Neither did I, but if Dungeon 5's crystal happens to be in the light world, this is going to make life so much easier going to Aghanim. It's going to be fun. So we drop off 100 rupees with zer0rush to get ourselves a full heart container on the way down to the chicken house. Meanwhile, jkoper, you know, utilizing the shuttle coming up here. Let's see what we got. Ooh, we got the hammer. And for zer0rush, we got 20 rupees.
Okay, that shovel turned out much better than I thought it was going to be.
Oh yeah, so who has the advantage now? jkoper definitely getting an early advantage with this shovel, getting the hammer. So now this is going to be very interesting for him. Now the only thing we have left to check is obviously the library, and we got a fairy in a bottle for zer0rush. So now we can check out the sick kid, and the racing game holds 20 rupees, so it won't be worth the time. But our sick kid friend is holding for us. Ooh, Titan's Mitt. Now jkoper's going to wish he did go up first. And we also have Quake inside the library. I apologize for hogging all the callouts here, Desi. What are your thoughts on these finds so far, though?
I just, how can I even compare with your enthusiasm? This is fantastic. I'm sorry. I'm just enjoying listening to your commentary as well. Watching this race right now.
Oh, that's understandable. We got zer0rush, who's actually gonna go the long way around, is actually going through the race. I wonder how disappointed he's going to be when he sees that it's 20 rupees. But at the same time, he's sitting at 492 points of rupees, 93, 94. So he's going to have the early advantage with the ability to go see Zora if he gets through fast enough. But that's only if he goes down to get the shovel and realize that Titan's Mitt is, pun intended, within his grasp. All right, looks like he's heading on down to check it all out, so it won't be long before Zero is having some fun times. We can see jkoper here picking up some extra bombs because he has cash to burn. Gonna finish up in the village, getting everything else that we found. Now, what was this item? 50 rupees. Okay. Alrighty, so now comes the big question. With what we know here, do we know of anywhere else we could possibly check to see if we could sneak into Aghanim, or if we could start dungeon running at this point?
Well, at this point, I think I'd prefer to just go ahead and go dungeon running. I mean, for sure that... actually, none of these look like they're going to work out right. They don't have boots yet, so if they go to desert, they're banking on the bonk item not being a key. They can't do Eastern yet without a bow, and they can't do tower without a light source unless they're going to bank on big key not being in the basement.
So here's a funny thought of twist.
Either way, it's a gamble.
What if they end up going, as you mentioned, there's the lockouts in Eastern because we don't have Pegasus boots, and the bow being in Eastern Palace. But here's a gamble. What if inside the Eastern Palace was the Pegasus boots or the mirror? This would give them a chance to go up to, the Tower of Hera at the very least, because they do have Titan's Mitt. And at the same time, where they do have Titan's Mitt, they can still climb the mountain and check that. So there's a good chance that the old man is holding something good, or you could find something just below in Spectacle Rock Cave that could actually turn the tide of battle. You never know. You can find the hookshot there. You could find, again, the magic mirror could be there. Auntie Ganon could be sitting there for all we know, just saying, "Hi, what's up? You missed me." But as I'm saying that, I'm noticing jkoper in his routing here is starting to make a little bit of sense the way he did things, because now he's going through the Lost Woods. He's going to collect that 305 rupees that was there and some bombs on the side, but he also has Titan's Mitt, so he could very well just climb the mountain at this point and see something that zer0rush isn't going to see real quick. zer0rush is
Think
also
about if he climbs the mountain right now. He really only has what the one chest in Spectacle Cave, I believe, that he has access to right now. So I'm not sure. Well, okay, he also has the old man. Give him an item. So he has 2 possible item spots for. I mean, going up the mountain is not a short trip. So I don't know if he's gonna look at that and think it's not worth it or not. You know. But I do like the way that his route is piecing together. You can see he's done basically all the same things, and it's just been a little quicker.
Just a little, but I do think that jkoper, knowing where he's going, let's see if he actually sticks through with this. I know he's farming for stuff right now, but he has the opportunity. He could go to Zora. He could climb the mountain. And I think that's what zer0rush is doing here. Realizes he has the gloves now. And yes, we have jkoper who's going to go up to the mountain. So now we're going to get a double check at the same time, which is kind of awesome. So now we're going to see what it is Zora could be hiding. Because here's the thing. Zora could give out the flippers and sitting on the side. Again, could be the moon pearl, the hook shot, the magic mirror. Anything is possible.
The world is their oyster.
Or are they the pearl that's inside the oyster that's in the world? Old man bequeaths us.
In theory.
Moon pearl!
Nice.
I'm sorry for getting so excited there, but seeing moon pearl right there, that is a good sign. That is one item
that opens up Thieves Town right away.
Oh yes, totally. Thieves Town is now accessible to jkoper, so he has the advantage, but he wants to continue up and go and look to see what is in Spectacle Cave. And I did not get to see what was on the edge there, unfortunately, because I was not fast enough, but I know zer0rush passed it. Did you manage to catch it?
I did not. Looking at this moon pearl excitement over on jkoper's side.
Well, here comes zer0rush. Let's see if
I'm
we're
just
going to
thinking
pick.
of the possibilities. He can go to Pod. He can go Thieves Town, as I already mentioned. Okay, that's pretty much it. But those are 2 fantastic dungeons.
And at the risk of sounding a little risque here,
Power Glove.
We just paid 500 Zora for a possible drug ring. Let's see how this goes. So let's see what 500 and some change for some wonderful, delicious, edible, lost woods, magic mushrooms will do for us. For all we know, it could give us the flipper. We can go back and check that ledge. Then we can check the hobo, check the island out in the middle of Lake Hylia. But we can see jkoper, as we already mentioned, now making great advantage of having the moon pearl by going up to the mountain, is going to be accessing, here we go, so we don't have to do Palace of Darkness, most likely, Thieves Town, and we have Turtle Rock that's blocked out. But we still have to do Misery Mire, Swamp Palace, the Skull Woods, and Ice Palace. No, I missed an Ice Palace. No, I didn't. There we go. And we got Fire Rod from the chess game in Thieves Town. So this was actually worth it. So now the big question is, can we find the hookshot nearby? And by the way, our change out for zer0rush was a piece of heart. So 500, some drugs, and a piece of heart. End of the day, sometimes you never know. Go ahead.
At this point, knowing that Thieves Town only has the green pendant, do you go ahead and do it right now, or do you wait since you're already here?
That is the good question, Desi. Here's the thing. Again, we don't know if Sahasrara is holding something possibly useful. He could have the bow. He could have the boots. He could have flippers at this point. So, with Thieves Town being right here, short of having the mirror and being able to check the dwarven, blacksmiths to see if they could possibly give you a sword or some sort of assistance there, it's really coming down to, do you want to take that gamble? Do you want to try to do this and hope that, it was the right choice? These are the type of things that people have to think about while they're doing these, these runs here. And additionally, though, one more thing to think about for jkoper. He still has access to almost all of these down. He's now going to take the chance, and this is probably both a smart and possibly backsetting play. He's going to hammer out these pegs to see what's in the cave. Because, again, we're still missing some key items. And here comes zer0rush having the aha moment. Bam! Another Moon Pearl. Alrighty. Let's see if jkoper's intuition pays off for him. Only 20 in the tank. So now again, he still has some areas in the Dark Road he could check while he's down here because he has accessibility. And see if they give anything useful. Again, we have the Digging Game. We have the Haunted Grove we can go check. We have that cave that's off to the side where the fairy would be in the Light World going towards Swamp Palace. You know, good accessible chests there. 5 possible items. You never know. Magic Mirror or Hookshot could be there. Let's see what happens with the Digging Game as we can see zer0rush putting 2 and together making fish. And now he's headed into the Dark Road because he found the Moon Pearl. And I love, it's almost within 20 minutes that the Moon Pearl was found and the targets were set for people. And there's Magic Mirror for jkoper. Oh boy, this is going to open up a lot more stuff.
That's the nice thing is, though, I mean, this isn't a divergent path. Like, he didn't really go off the beaten path, so zer0rush is going to find this mirror pretty quickly, and it's still anyone's game here.
Oh, totally. zer0rush wanted to reconfirm he wasn't crazy that the fire rod was his prize and doubles back in. Could also be the fact that he wanted some extra money, so... But now we're going to see what the Dwarven Blacksmith has for us. Possibly change the chest out while we go do some errand running. It would be nice to see a sword come up along the way, because this would give the accessibility for jkoper to check the Bombos Talbot on his way down to go do some extra exploration. So, let's see. Dwarven Breadsmiths gives us 20 rupees. But yes, I have to echo something in this chat that was said so far. This seed. Just this seed.
This is going to be a fast race. For sure. All they're missing is some medallions. Boots. I don't even think you need boots at this point. Hookshot.
Boots would still definitely be nice to have, though.
Nah, you want boots. You definitely want boots. Let's see. So, if I wrote down all of this correctly, we've got Swamp. Swamp is 5, Skull is 3, Ice is 2, Mire is 7, which leaves Tower 1, Eastern 6, Desert 4.
Mm-hmm.
So Eastern and Swamp are going to be the priority if they want to go ahead and check. Of course, Swamp being limited by... I mean, can we even access it at this point?
And we have jkoper.
No.
jkoper found the Cane of Burnout by going to talk to in the Haunted Grove to our dear friend there. And we have jkoper right now who's doing some interesting strats with the chest in hand. With intents to turn it in, there it is, he's dropping it off. So he's going to come over and check this cave next before he drops it off completely. Again, here we're hoping, in most seas, we find some sort of sword here. If it's, albeit the Master Sword or the Temper Sword. So there is a good chance that, he could find a sword here. So again, check, the Bombos Tablet, have a little bit of an edge. Might be able to think, hey, well, maybe I should backtrack just to see if I can, well, actually, in his case, he doesn't have to backtrack to go fight Aghanim. He could go up across the bridge with the hammer in hand and actually go check the pyramid. I never thought about that till just now. So they still both, zer0rush and jkoper, not having touched any dungeons, almost 24 minutes in, they're totally in just go mode for these item hunts. It's so amazing.
So what would your first move here be. I think once I finish up with the general item collection here, I'd be looking at probably going to Pod.
From the items I fished out and not knowing at this moment, piece of art in the chest, and not knowing, see, jkoper here, I think he's taking a little bit of a risk here because no one has been to desert yet to see if the boots are hiding out on the ledge. So I have to frown upon jkoper's decision here to do that save and quit to go back to Link's house. So I'm questioning what his motive is here, what he could possibly be doing next. That could be more important than checking that ledge, because again, what if Pegasus Boots is there, and what if, the Flippers is on the pedestal or something? But I see what he's doing here.
Looks like maybe he's going straight for Aghanim.
All right. So I take back what I said a little bit, because he's going to use the Cane of Burner to sneak in, obviously. Unless... I don't think you can do that, though.
I didn't think that was possible, actually.
Yeah, that's right. No, he can't do that. No,
but it looks like he's going to Mountain Cave. This looks better to me because he has Tower. He can go over to the right across the bridge and grab. I think there's like 8 or 9 chests over on the right hand side of Death Mountain.
Oh yeah, true.
In fact, he should be able to also go to the Dark World, grab the other 6 or so chests that are,
If done tactfully and the hookshot shows up, he does have a chance to clear out the wall of caves right away. Plus, you mentioned about him going to the possibility of going to the Cane of Burner's actual cave. He could do that too, because he has a fairy in hand too, so he'd be able to make the trip back if he wants to keep going that way. But it looks like he's just going to go straight up instead. Both a wise and valued decision, because there is a full card container waiting on the top there. And it's not even saying card, so... But he's going to definitely take on the Tower of Hera, so...
Hopefully his Moldorm is up to snuff. Saw some heartbreaking Moldorm attempts in the previous race earlier today.
Yes, there's definitely been some very destructive moments that some people wish left never unhappened. And I have no idea what I just said there. How do you know it's too early?
Nice sequence of words, though.
Thank you. I'm glad it made sense to somebody somewhere. But yeah, jkoper's decision here to go into the Tower of Hera. He has a plan. He knows there's a crystal here, so whether this is a crystal that belongs to 5 or 6 category, or if he's just planning it out ahead, he's counting on something being here. And to answer some people's questions, because I'm seeing it come up, no, I don't, unfortunately. I would love to, though. You gotta believe me. Moving forward, though,
it would actually be a good fit for you. You should see if we can get these broadcasted somehow.
That would be kind of awesome. You'd have random people at work watching this stuff. Alright, so we definitely have a bit of a spot of trouble for jkoper here. With his decision to go up and not go down, he has a possibility that Moldorm's holding the compass, thus giving him a little last ha-ha. But we're hoping that Moldorm here has the item we have looking for. Alright, here we go. He's gonna hammer the tail. Oof. Round 1.
Not this time.
Round 1. Moldorm.
The pitfalls of fighting Moldorm with a hammer.
Oh yeah. Now we got one good shot in there. jkoper's gonna have to speed this up though, because here comes zer0rush. And there we go. We get the count. Boom. Perfect finish, and we're holding
fight on that second try.
All right. Definitely tapped that one in the right way. So now we're gonna see what number crystal that was, hopefully. Come on, give us a little pause screen action, man.
That should have been Crystal 1.
Got zer0rush coming into Mordor now himself.
So at this point, it should be noted that the runners cannot check the Ether Tablet right now due to lack of a Master Sword or better.
Yes, this is something to bring up because you have the Book of Mandor prior in the actual run with the Fighter Sword, and it specifically tells you that you need to come back with a magical sword. So you would need Master Sword Plus in order to do the tablets. This is why if you walk up with a Butter Sword ASAP, you get it. But yeah, zer0rush there had a pretty much clean as can be fight there. That was pretty textbook. Well, we have jkoper coming over for the Wall of Caves now. And I missed seeing what that number crystal was. Dang it. This is what happens when you get absorbed. There we go. You're right. It's crystal 1.
If you haven't noticed, by the way, the tracker is a little different from previous races. So now we're not showing crystal numbers, we're just showing the fact that there is a crystal at each location. So looks like we need to get that tower updated for both of these guys.
I gotta say, I do like Zarby's tracker here. Ooh, there's Hookshot. So, jkoper's definitely going to have plus half magic, so... But he's now going to have the accessibility to go into the dark side of this area and do that half of the Wall of Caves. So now he can really get this all put together. So, yeah, this seems like almost calculated, so... Definitely going to see what happens.
The seed that keeps on giving. I mean, how much more timely can you get with that hook shot? You know, they're about to go right back up, and then grab the cave up at the top of the mountain, head over to the floating island, see what's over there.
And here we go. We got hook shot strats from jkoper to start, then moving into the mirror. Nice little 1-2 combo. A little flashy, but hey, made it happen. Now zer0rush is gonna...
Sorry, for those wondering, Eastern Palace should have Crystal 6 and Swamp Palace should have Crystal 5. Swamp Palace now open to the players. Now I'm a big fan of going to Swamp Palace pretty much as soon as it's reasonable. Obviously, these guys are gonna finish up their item collection while they're still in the area. Maybe check out Turtle Rock requiring bombos. But then I think I'm a huge fan of going to Swamp Palace pretty much right away.
But yes, one thing we need to click, we're gonna chat up say it in a sec. zer0rush did get the Cane of Burnout from the Haunted Grove in the Dark World. Sorry. Sometimes we're both going to click on it and yeah, it cancels itself out. So we do apologize. We're trying to keep up with pimping canes and stuff. And as zer0rush gets himself stuck in the corner a little bit there. It looks like jkoper didn't find much of anything use inside the Dark World section of the caves. And I think it was a +5 on the cave on the outside.
Island there, yep.
Yeah, so that didn't really pay off too much, so that's kind of a disappointment.
Still, knowing what medallion you need for Turtle Rock is nice, even though they probably won't be visiting it this run.
So now, the big thing is, and I'm hoping they realize it soon too, why hasn't someone gone and checked Desert? Like, I don't mean to sound like, you know, like I'm complaining here, but like the obvious decision is being ignored at this moment. Like, all these wonderful upgrades are amazing, wonderful upgrades, which, may or may not lead to success or happiness. But there is a good possibility that the desert has something we're looking for here. Possibly Pegasus boots, possibly, an upgraded sword, the magic cape. Like, we haven't even blown up
I'll tell you,
Sasha's house.
If I were going to go to desert, I would wait until either A, I've run out of options, or B, when it's convenient after, like I'm already on my way to Misery. If you can merge those two together into one visit, that's much more efficient than, come down, do desert, come back, do Misery Mire.
So zer0rush is going into where jkoper just was for the ever disappointing, overly hyped, super unnecessarily well extra protected green rupee. If this is what a green rupee's for, I'm not even interested. Here we go with jkoper though, finally coming to Shalala's house. Got a +5 bum, the Master Sword, and flippers.
Wow,
dude! Like, I hate to be that, that voice of "I told you so," but I told you so. There was hidden things we didn't even check, and now we got jkoper, who's got the obvious advantage at this moment because of Master Sword and flippers. Like this. This can keep going either way. It's ridiculous.
I don't know, if zer0rush continues in the way he's going, he is not going to be pleased by how much further ahead jkoper is.
Oh, he's going to be feeling a very big shroud of disappointment when he finally figures out what jkoper found long before him, if it takes a long time. Because believe me, I know what that feeling's like. It's
he is
the bow.
He's gonna flip when he figures out what Sir Hasseral is hiding. Yes.
That's putting it lightly. But just again, I know what it's like to be that person that's missing something desperately for almost 40 plus minutes, and then to realize you didn't do something as simple as backtrack because you forgot about it, or you didn't check this one area because you thought it wouldn't be a big deal at the time. Yeah, that's the stuff that costs you. That is the stuff that completely costs you.
So since jkoper has the flippers, he's finally making that trip up to Zora's domain. And we're gonna...
It's on that ledge.
It's going to be, let's see...
Yeah. Power Glove.
Right.
I was wondering why people were saying Power Glove in chat. Now it makes sense. Oh, jkoper's not going to like what Zora has.
Not at all.
Because last I remembered. It's a wonderful, nasty trick.
I think jkoper's at the point where he needs to be doing some dungeons, though. Zero's finally decided to go ahead and do Skull, so he's not going to encounter any problems here.
And he just got a double bonus pickup. Sorry.
Very nice.
Real quick. Found Bombos in the chest. Amazing that Bombos has been found. He now has Bombos, and now he has Fire Rod. Ice Palace is done and done. Additionally, we have the cape now. But again, even though they both have the cape, or are on their way to the cape, and in this case, jkoper's decision, he's just going to go plug Agamemnon's lights out now because of the Master Sword. But, they both had this option for a while now, since they had the hammer, that they could have gone and checked the pyramid long before this. So sorry, nitpick number 2. Why haven't they?
Well, that's true. Well, the point in defeating Aghanim would be to go get the ocarina.
Okay, so there's that plus. I grant you that boon. But, additionally,
and since you have to go defeat Aghanim anyway, why not why not wait until after you defeat Aghanim to check the pyramid?
Fair enough.
You got to stack as many things together as you can.
I will give you that one. But here's the thing. What if you do the Aghanim fight? You get through it. Here's the thing, though. What if Pegasus boots aren't on the pyramid? Which in this case, well, that's most likely going to be what it is in order to give you the flute. So there's a fetch question in itself that is self-serving and gives you a little bit of a time sink, but you can figure out where to go from there.
That is a good point. The fact they don't have boots yet is kind of a deterrent in the Ocarina plan. So this could be kind of a misplay by jkoper.
Totally.
Alternatively, he could also just be wanting the extra warp point to the Dark World.
Touche, I can understand why. Again, you can easily go through using Link's house. You can back down, get in the portal, buy the bomb, that nice little bomb, because we want Fat Fairy's 2 chests. If you knocked out Aghanim, warp back to your house, walk up, walk through the gates, move you back to in front of the pyramid. You get a quick access without having to go around for all the crap. So, boom.
Also, you can save and quit and still be in the Dark World. And once you defeat Aghanim, you're in the perfect spot to go ahead and go after Pod, which... Okay, well, Pod has a pendant, so maybe you don't want to do Pod.
You never know, though.
You can go... Yeah, you can go ahead and go down and do Swamp Palace at this point. I think he has all the prerequisites now, the hookshot and flippers. And as I said earlier, I'm a big fan of doing Swamp Palace as soon as possible. If only for all the chests, all the good chests that you can get within.
I would not be lying if I did not say that my mouth begins to salivate when I see that Swamp Palace is on the menu. If just because it is a untold treasure trove, truly an Atlantis for this game, in retrospect, because it is an underwater place for the most part. But it's a waterway of beautiful hidden things that you never knew existed.
zer0rush finishing off Mothula with his last breath of fire.
Meanwhile, jkoper is playing a wonderful game of old-fashioned Pong, very close to the chest. So far has not made any mistakes. Maximum health increased. Yay. I pulled the sword from the stone, and I got healthier. Said no man ever. Alright,
wow,
Logic
that was a good
prevails.
call on those boots. That was a very
Logic
good call on those boots.
prevails. Yes, indeed, my
That
friend.
was by no means a guarantee. But very nice call on those boots. With that, I think jkoper takes a commanding lead here.
At the same token, though, I just got showed up way high because of that. Just because I was going on the whole rant, if it's not there, the logic is not going to, assist yourself. It's the way you go then. But damn, I give it to jkoper for that one. He's going to be disappointed.
Now, to be clear, I don't think going to Aghanim at this point was a gamble at all. Because you are going to have to do him at some point. The flute is a prerequisite for doing Dungeon 6, which we've already identified as having the 7th crystal.
Mm-hmm.
So he had to do it at some point. It's just a matter of when do you want to fit it into your route. zer0rush is obviously on the same plan here right now. He's going to be happy when he defeats Aghanim and finds the boots. And then he's also going to be able to get the ocarina.
Question, though. Can he reflect the balls of light with the fighter sword?
I'm pretty sure he can.
I just
and he,
I want to make sure, just
he'll be
because.
fine. He'll be fine.
Okay. Because like I didn't remember. Ooh, hello, magical powder. Okay, now
I
that
had
was
to think about it
worth
for a
this.
second myself.
All right, so we got magic powder for waking up the Quakefish, and our wonderful chain of let's kill Aghanim and see what's going on. So now we get definitely a few more areas we're going to check on the way by, because additionally, jkoper has hookshot, and he has flippers, so he could do some fancy networking with the portals. And we can see right here he's going to make great use of his hookshot, though. Cross that gap, and bam. Now we have instant access to the other side, closer to Thieves Town in the Lost Woods. Now we can start doing some magic mirror work here, because we have the boots, we can mirror here, go back to the light world, bump this cave open, go back in the portal afterwards after seeing what's down here. Got another cave up there with another chest, and then we just can keep on going. We can go check out Bumper Cave next, see if there's anything good there too.
Clearly, you have it all mapped out. It's like you're reading directly into jkoper's mind.
I wouldn't like to say that's what's going on. It's just, as I'm seeing him do this, is I'm seeing the logic of what he's going to do next, most likely, and it's starting to make more sense.
It's a very solid line of play.
And it's starting to pay off greatly. We got ourselves the magic mirror shield.
The magic mirror shield. That would be a nice item to have. You look in it and it takes you to the light world. And it reflects lasers.
jkoper now finding the second, hi there, green rupee, inside the bunk cave outside of Sanctuary. That's priceless.
It's not as good as Brian. What we've got up there. Arrow capacity upgrade, we don't care about that.
No, but what we do care about is right inside old Woody here. He has the ocarina, and we're going to make wonderful use of that. Down to go free us a duck. Or is it a pigeon?
Maybe it's a pelican. It's hard to tell at these resolutions.
Pelican, that's what I was looking for.
I mean, its beak is abnormally large.
This is true. It looks like a platypus just painted white almost sometimes. But then I remember. Alrighty.
I feel like with that beak, it has to be a platypus. I don't care that platypuses, platypi don't fly. And now he's going to your desert that you've such a torch for.
Because now I really want to know what it's been hiding. If it has anything useful, like could it have a sword?
I didn't
Could
see what that medallion was. The stream kind of blurred for me at that moment.
Same here. Now we're gonna find out though. Chat's coming up with Quake. Does not have Quake at this moment, so... As we remember, though, yes, Quake is in the library. And we get a piece of heart for our troubles. Hashtag why desert. Hashtag was counting on you.
Hashtag bad randomizer. That's normally a piece of heart.
I guess. This is true, this is true. Hashtag in Peach Desert. That's a good one. Alright, now we're just trying to see what zer0rush's gonna do after he gets his, or excuse me, zer0rush here does after he gets, his magical bird to fly. Could he be thinking the same thing jkoper is? Or is he actually gonna remember, did he actually go back and check the library already, though? That's one question I need to... Yes. Sorry. I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Has anyone checked the library yet?
Quake is in the library. Obviously someone has, or we wouldn't know Quake was there. I don't remember who or what, though.
Well, hey, red mail in the desert, so there's that. Alrighty, so now we're going down to backside of desert here with jkoper. Good choice. I mean, coming in here now, you're already here. Let's just get this crystal up and out of the way. And this was crystal. Did we say this process was crystal 5 or 6?
Should be 4.
Should be 4? Okay.
If my notes are correct.
Alright, so zer0rush did grab Quake, so he is coming to Mire, possibly. Checking that on out. And jkoper here looks like he's trying to light up the Moldorms, excuse me, land molas here. Working efficiently. Did not know you could torch them.
It does seem a little counterintuitive that beings of the desert would be weak to fire.
Alright, so I thought zer0rush was going to start into Misery Mire here, but looks like he's going to do some extra desert cleanup. So far, not finding too much for his troubles, though. And he still doesn't have a different sword other than the fighter sword at the moment, so... We're definitely going to see how he fares. I mean, yeah, I know he does have, had his third crystal down, so... They each have 2 crystals, so... Still anyone's race.
Looks like jkoper might be ready to start on the Swamp Palace. Although the last race I commentated every time I said they were going to this, they decided to just take the warp and go somewhere else, so who knows?
Well, it's not exactly an idyllic thing to use for warp to go check other random places. Well, okay. It's set for maybe if you forgot to check the Bombos tablet.
Like I said, as soon as I say Swamp Palace, they avoid it like the plague.
And Bombos blows up the universe to give us a single arrow. Thanks, Robin Hood. We love thee greatly. Well, zer0rush is definitely going to be happy to see a wonderful little payoff for coming here for Desert Palace, besides the crystal, obviously, that jkoper already got, and that will be the red mail. So, but turns out he might, jkoper here might be coming in to do the Swamp Palace, though. So you weren't too far off. They just didn't want to do it too soon.
There is no too soon. As long as you have all you need, that's the only thing that matters.
No, there's
I guess
three.
that would be too soon. Never mind. Never mind.
There's 3 points to a game. Too soon, not soon enough, too damn late. Way too soon, you don't have enough items to even attempt to do what you're doing, and you're counting on, by stupid luck, for something to be right there when you need it, and it's not going to be there. So that's just bad planning. A little too soon
I
is...
have a question for you.
Yeah, what's up?
You said too damn late, but then right before it you said not soon enough.
Oh, not soon enough, yes.
Different are these?
Not soon enough is like you missed it by like 30 seconds to a minute, and then too damn late.
And too damn late is 2 a.m. Eastern.
About that time, but for reality, it's like an hour into the game and your opponent found something that you wished you had centuries ago because it's blocking you from doing 2 dungeons that can complete the game. I.e., you forgot the bow in the chicken house. Not naming names.
So right now, I'd say that jkoper has a pretty comfortable lead. I definitely would much rather be in his shoes. Did we never update Quake for zer0rush? I thought he picked that item up. Or I heard tell from the chat that he did.
We're gonna double check it in a second, but... Yeah, too damn late. Scene done and you're still fighting Aga 1. Hashtag humiliation. jkoper so far doesn't seem like he's fighting too much for his venture here going into Swamp Palace, but again, it's still got a lot of hidden treasures, so anything could pop up at any given moment. Cane of Samaria, Butter Sword, Fairy in a Bottle.
Fingers crossed.
True. Yes, and he has red mail indeed. And... Wait a second. Okay. I was wondering for a moment what Zero was doing. I was supposed to say, was he really about to go to Ice Palace? No, he's heading into nearby Palace
I mean,
of
he
Darkness.
put fake flippers there, and apparently that's legal in these races. I'm less than thrilled about that, but I'll just go with the flow. He can fake flipper over to Ice Palace and complete it at this stage.
On a side note, I was noticing for jkoper there, he took the long way around to flip the switch. I don't understand why people do that.
Which switch?
You know that's... Okay, you know when you come into the room with the big chest in Swamp Palace, and then you have to go to the left and you go up and right? And by the way, here's zer0rush probably having that oh der moment. as Flippers and Master Sword is so masterfully presented to him. Probably doesn't feel too bad about it, though, because he does have 3 crystals over jkoper's 2 at the moment, but I think jkoper at the moment still has a bit of a significant lead. We will see what happens in a moment, though, because anything can change within 30 seconds.
I mean, at this point, neither player can be sure really where the other player is.
Exactly. By the way, the room that jkoper was just in, the room above it has the one to flood the alley, so you can swim on over, so you can check where the master key normally is. If you go above and you waste your 1 key if you have the hookshot coming into here, there's the 1 key off to the side. Waste that to open the top door, flip the switch, come down, get the key from there, then go back and throw the switch, and then, hit the crystal again. You'll save yourself a few seconds there. And here's zer0rush finding out where the bow is, so I wonder how that's going to affect what he's going to do next.
I didn't realize there was a switch up here. And see, I guess it was in the top left room?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And there's Master Key.
It's been a little while since I've looked at all the maps for this game.
I spent a lot of time 2 weeks before starting this tournament looking at Palace of Darkness, and zer0rush here using a little spin speed, trying to make great haste to the top of Eastern Palace. And we got a whole heart container for jkoper in the Swamp Palace big chest. So this is an interesting decision by zer0rush here. He's coming to Eastern Palace now with Master Sword and the bow. To recap, jkoper has not been into Eastern Palace yet, correct?
That's right.
Alright, so we don't know at the exact moment what is inside this dungeon. Well, we saw a nice little rupee pickup for, not rupee pickup, we saw the big key in the, where the usual 100 rupee is there. So we still got all these extra chests to check too. So we could find something that could...
jkoper skipping that last chest there. I believe that means that the only 2 items remaining. I would imagine he's been keeping better track than either of us.
I will admit, it's kind of distracting at almost 2 in the morning and you're trying to watch 2 screens and your eyes do not want to cooperate. See jkoper here having a little bit of trouble at the start of his fight, but his guys getting under control here, though. Showing excellent mastery of the Master Sword here, fighting Argus. zer0rush finds 20 rupees inside the big chest inside Eastern Palace. jkoper finally getting in rhythm here with Argus, having wonderful timing of when to step aside.
Finishes him off with line and sinker.
And finds the compass. Because we've lost our way so much in here, we need this at the last second.
See, I'm a fan of just taking out the map and compass, but some of these speedrunner guys want to complain that makes too many treasures or something. I don't know.
Meh. 6 of that, half dozen of another, man. Can't win, can't lose.
Randomizer should be 3.5-hour trials of pain.
If you want 3.5 hours of trial and pain, my friend. Where was I going with this?
We'll just have to wait for the hard mode randomizer tournament.
Ah, yes, Wizrobe's tournament. That's where I was going with this. Thank you. Yes, coming up at the end of May, our very own Wizrobe is throwing together a little bit of a random marathon And he has a couple of very hard seeds for people to, well, have a try on. There's a blind run. There's a pre-top run, so that way you can see everything. It's going to be interesting. I've played a couple of his seeds, too. It's not really so much about what items you get. It's about the time that you get them and what you can do with them. Not too much different from what the randomizers we do here are, but just a touch different.
So right now, I think the biggest item that both players are lacking is the Cane of Samaria. Obviously,
Totally.
that's not going to be found in Turtle Rock. So that leaves, if we're talking about bad dungeons that they don't want to go to, Pod and Thieves Town. And then there's always that possibility that Sahasrara is carrying it for some reason. And then they'd have to go and do Thieves Town and come back and talk to Sahasrara and be an otherwise very long trip.
Indeed, but at this point we can pretty much rule out if Sahasrara is holding anything of importance that could hold us back, but there is still the possibility that he is that guy holding us back with the Cane of Samaria. You never know. Now we got jkoper finding Bombos. Alrighty. So I think zer0rush is going to enter into Swamp Palace to get himself a quick one and done. We know that jkoper went the full distance inside Swamp Palace. Didn't really find too much for his trouble, so if zer0rush really wanted to, he could just fly right on through this.
I think as long as he's missing the Cane of Samaria, he is going to be checking out all the chests. Once he finds that, he's probably going to go straight into go mode and rush to beat the game. In which case, I mean, this race is closer than I assessed not more than 10 minutes ago. I mean, I still like the position that jkoper's in, but I can't ignore, you know, the strong, you know, well, at the moment it's a crystal lead. I guess that's about to equalize once jkoper finishes off Mahula here.
But Zer would still slightly have a touch of a lead here because he is in search of his next crystal, so there is the advantage him to that one. But, you know, again, things can change in a moment's time. Well, there we go at jkoper picking up his crystal inside the Lost Woods, or Skull Woods. There we go. Zero's doing what I was talking about earlier. This is the smart play here. You have that access to come in this way, get yourself the key, get back out just as quick. And it saves you a couple frames tops from having to go all the way back around. So looks like jkoper is
Okay, I got you. That makes sense.
Is jkoper going to
Yeah, the
take
way
a
you described
gamble?
it earlier.
I'm sorry. You first.
Oh, no. The way you were describing it earlier, I totally pictured a totally different part of Swamp Palace for some reason. No, that makes sense. That absolutely makes sense. Yeah, why is he going into pod? Okay, I guess he just opened it up for potential later use. Okay, I mean, I guess that makes sense. If he doesn't find Kane in Ice Palace, then yeah, he's going to want to probably check out Pod before going to Misery Mire. Pod and Thieves Town, I believe, are the highest chest counts dungeons
This
in
is
the Dark
true.
World outside of Swamp Palace. So both of those likely going to be places of interest once he's done with Eastern Palace here, and depending on how Ice Palace goes.
Or there's a possibility, you know, just playing off what I see in chat from the OK guy here. He's doing them, you know, Eastern for the crystals, and then he's going to be checking pod for possibility of missing items. There's not much pod could really offer in this case of missing items. So
You just gotta hit as many chests as possible when you're trying to search for that one missing item you need.
this is the truth, though. This is like what causes you to go nuts per se when you're in go mode. Is you're sitting there and you're doing all these things. You're sitting there going, okay, I need chest heavy dungeons, and you get them, and it's like, okay, boom, 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 boom. And let's say really early going, you get everything you need. Like, you know, they start you off in Eastern, they give you the bow, they give you, you know, they give you power glove. Okay, boom. So they send you off to the desert because, you know, found the book in the village. So you go there. You find boots for some odd reason. Like, you know, you find flippers. You check out Zora, you find Titan's Mint. You take Titan's Mint and you check something else and you find the Master Sword, and then you're off to Aghanim and whatever. You know, just the subtlest of different changes just makes the whole difference towards the end. And then you get to the point where it's like, you know, you're 5 or 6 dungeons in, and your brain's going crazy because you can't remember where you have or have not been, and you're looking for that one item that's like taunting you. It like hurts.
Now, I'll tell you, if I was writing this right now, if I were in jkoper's shoes, I don't think I would have opened up pod at this point yet. Reason being, when you finish with Eastern, you can go over to Ice and do Ice. And then, assuming you still haven't found Kane, I think the next logical spot would be to do Thieves Town, clear out the chests, get the green pendant, come back, talk to Sahasrara, then do pod, since you're kind of in that same area. Either way, it's kind of a matter of luck. But you want to just try and stack as much together, I think, so that you can hopefully set yourself up to be lucky faster.
And
As they say, luck is a residue of good design.
And that's what it is about sometimes. It is about that luck. It is about being at that right place at that right time, getting that proper item and getting that proper, you know, incentive and know where to go put together. And sometimes it can be rough, though. It's like, there are a lot of things that can go wrong just in an instant while you're trying to do something. Unexpected death at the end of the dungeon where you're trying to fight the boss. You go to get towards the end and you don't have the right item to do it. You know, these are the things that just make running these a little bit harder every time.
This is a very nice fight. The Armos from jkoper's side. And we're seeing
Indeed.
zer0rush pull out the Fire Rod for his Argus fight. Finishes it off a little more quickly than jkoper did when he was in the area. And they are both tied at 5 pendants apiece.
So
In fact,
now,
looking at the items they have, it's almost entirely the same, save for looks like just a Quake Medallion on zer0rush's side for Magic Powder on Koper's side. Now, for sure, I think the Quake Medallion is what you want here, since I believe it's required to open Mire.
indeed, and as
And
far
just
as
like that, I think. Sorry, just like that, I think zer0rush is now in the lead.
now as far as
He was probably in the lead for a little bit now. It's just hard to tell sometimes with these races. Sorry, go ahead. I've been cutting you off.
it's okay. So here's the thing: as far as for what they need, zer0rush has Quake, and Quake is required to get into Mire. The only thing jkoper needs to do, oh hey, there is a payoff, coming into Palace of Darkness and receiving the Tempered Sword. So we get a DPS upgrade of use there, but going back to the original point of content, as far as just that goes, that's the only thing jkoper needs. Beyond that, they both need to find the Cane of Samaria, and if they absolutely want it, because they're going to need it unless they want to play and chance it really big in Misery Mire, they're going to need to have the Lantern. But unless they're up to snuff with their Dark game, that's the only real two things they're missing, is Samaria and a light.
I feel like if they were comfortable in the dark in Misery Mire, there's maybe a few other tricks that I would have seen that would have indicated that skill. A few bomb jumps here and there that I don't think I saw. So I think both of these guys are probably holding out for the Lantern. Now, in this case, jkoper, even though he's in pod, you really want the Lantern. I don't think he has plans on finishing it. At least if I were doing this dungeon, I wouldn't bother with finishing it. I would just get all the items and leave. There's really nothing to be gained from getting the blue pendant at this point.
Ooh. Speaking of things to gain, time lost there just now for jkoper accidentally being knocked back and fell into the pit. So that sent him back a bit, but he got across. He finds a fairy in a bottle for his troubles. Not quite a genie in the bottle that he needs, but gets himself another small key. Now here comes the question. He does have the Fire Rod. He is going down. He's got a chance looking around in the dark for that, hopefully to find that, unless he's comfortable with, finding his way in the dark. He's feeling for it. Gets a piece of heart.
Piece of heart.
And that was a small key, so
Maze time.
let's see if his maze skill is up to snuff. I know I spent a good time practicing this myself because you never know.
So zer0rush going. I bet jkoper's looking up a map here.
Don't blame him.
And I say that only because that's exactly what I would do. zer0rush climbing back up Ice Palace, looking to get all the chests, hoping, pleading that Cane of Samaria.
But at the same time, though, rest in peace menu time. I think the best menu time I had was 4 minutes flat, and that was when I was in the right mode. So now the big question is, while jkoper is fiddling in the darkness, looking to find all the correct paths and get all the chests, found red boomerang, is this going to pay off in the end for what he's doing? And for zer0rush, same question. Looks like he's going to go complete the whole runaround of Ice Palace here. Is this wise?
I feel like zer0rush is taking much less of a gamble here than jkoper is. So now he found both the map and the compass, so that means at this point he probably does want to defeat Helmasaur just to see what that last item is. Which feels really bad to me. Like, I think this whole Palace of Darkness excursion is ill-advised at this moment.
We're about to find out exactly how ill-advised in a moment too, though. zer0rush here, making a very hasty run into that room. Forgot there was an extra chest in there. Finds his big key, and he's just gonna push right on out. Ooh, that's not
Bad
a
randomizer.
smart decision.
No, this is fine because he's just gonna go straight back down. He's gonna grab that big chest on the left, and then he's gonna solve the puzzle like normal.
Unless
I
he's gonna,
think this is fine here.
unless he's gonna bomb jump, I don't see how this is gonna pay off.
Oh, he bomb jumped the first time.
Oh, of course. I was too busy. See, watching two screens at once, even if they're directly in front of you, is very hard. This is why commentating.
What's going on there? What was that?
I have no idea, but it was interesting.
Skip the chest before. He did not bomb jump the first time. Okay. I must have missed that then. Oh, that's right. That's right, because the switch was blue. Yeah, the switch was blue.
jkoper, I applaud my hooves together for him on this one. He actually managed to pull off a pretty decently well-played dark run through the Palace of Darkness here. Let's see how he finishes up, though. He's on the approach. And tactic here, in my opinion, just gun it. Which is exactly what he did. Now he's fighting Helmasaur while we have zer0rush here. Sets himself up
Vastly
and makes
overpowered on his Helmasaur fight.
Now, I can't remember if this actually did it or not, but I remember when I was a kid, I don't know if it's still in the game or if I'm just crazy and I'm hallucinating, but I remember at one point you could actually blow Helmasaur's mask off with 3 bombs.
Yep. Absolutely. That's how I always used to do it as a kid, because I didn't know you could hammer it off.
So we got ourselves a mouse cursor, a blue pendant, and 300 for the exploding dinosaur. And a small key inside the big chest.
Like I said, I'm not a fan of that POD trip. I think Ice Palace followed by Thieves Town was probably the better play. And this is probably what zer0rush is going to be doing. We'll see in a moment how well it pays off.
And we see zer0rush not living up to his namesake here. He's actually in a rush, and he's like mad mashing the fire rod into Coldstare's face. And he gets a 3-pack of bombs for his troubles, plus a crystal. So now that's going to give him his 5th crystal? No, 6th crystal.
That is his 6th crystal. Yeah. So very likely we're going to see jkoper with the same strategy of just grabbing as many items as possible.
Here's the thing to remember too, with Thieves Town being a crystal, not a crystal, the green pendant, there is a very strong possibility that, you know, what if Cane of Samaria is in there? Or what if you clear that and you're given the Cane of Samaria by Sahasrara? You know, like a last minute middle finger or something. Because, you know, the randomizer is going to get a kicks in somehow. Why not put the item you want right where you don't need it to be? But yeah, when it definitely comes to these randomizer races, though, it definitely seems to be that Misery Mire seems to be the key of, well, a lot of misery. Just having to, we have zer0rush actually going into Thieves Town right now.
What did I say? Way to go. Now, Thieves Town has 4 good items in it, I believe. So, got the compass there. Like I said, it's just as high of a chance as Pod, only it completes more quickly. And in this case, it happens to give you Green Pendant, which you want for the ability to talk to Sahasrara.
And yes, just to reaffirm, there is no way this code can be broken, and it cannot be tampered with. They've tried. Sahasrara will not talk to you or give you anything other than telling you to go fetch the green pendant every time you try to talk to him. So even if you try doing it with the blue pendant, you're not getting anywhere without the green pendant. And if you happen to get through him with the blue pendant and you don't have the green pendant, you're cheating. Meanwhile, we got jkoper here while we have zer0rush going through Thieves Town. jkoper is going through Ice Palace. He's also doing the long path here, trying to collect everything he can. Obviously, again, you know, there's not much left in Ice Palace that's of worth, but still checking everything at this point for both racers is the smart play, because you don't know where the other one is right now. We're coming up on our, you know, the first hour and a half into this. I think this is where, you know...
we thought this was going to be a fast seed, too.
Yes, we did. But we're starting to come up on the realization of, oh my goodness, where are they? I know I've done this, but where are they? And how much have they got that I don't?
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be like, you know, you're looking at an hour and a half. You're not really like in jkoper's case, he's still 2 crystals away and missing a vital item to get one of those crystals. He's got to be thinking to himself, you know, did zer0rush do something different? Is he, you know, surely he's doing at least as well as I am, and zer0rush is probably thinking the same thing.
Alrighty, so now let's see if jkoper actually checks the, there we go. Okay, so I want to point out that this is one chest that zer0rush missed. And it was just the map. So, okay. In the end, it paid off for him not to check that. Got a piece of heart in the Thieves Town chest. I think zer0rush just checked everything, so did not look like anything useful. Oh, the lamp to 0. Okay. I missed that then.
That's going to help out quite a bit in Misery Mire.
Mm-hmm. Plus
When
0.
and if they eventually get there.
And Palace of Darkness is a crystal dungeon, right?
No.
No. Okay.
Palace of Darkness has the blue pendant.
We have zer0rush just playing away at the Magic Cape because why not? We have it.
It's actually a pretty good lag-reducing strat.
Mm.
Especially in the blind fight where there's so much stuff going on.
Exactly. So now the question is zer0rush going to go figure out what Sahasrara has for him? I think the answer is going to be yes right now. jkoper getting knocked up a little bit here. Has to be a little bit careful here, even though he does have the red mail. He tried using Bombos against Cold Stare. I don't know if he still has his fairy that he
Just
found
doesn't work
earlier.
the same way a Fire Rod does.
No, it doesn't. Ooh, does he have that fairy, though? He does.
He does.
Yeah, now he pulls out the fire rod. Now he says, it's whooping time.
Okay, now because zer0rush decided to also go to pod at this point, it looks like jkoper's going to be okay.
Mm.
And really, pod is a natural progression here. I think I would check Sahasrara first, just because easier chest. Well, easier item node.
Indeed. Although a good thing to bring up, because I just thought about this. jkoper has put off going to see the Mad Batter. If he checks the Mad Batter right now and Kinosamara is there instead, ooh.
Like, I think this race just comes down to who finds the king first now. And zer0rush is not winning that race at the moment. jkoper looks like he's going to be checking out the thick fairy.
Yes, the fluffy fairy of bountiful joy. We also see that we make great use of going through our portals.
Now you're thinking with portals.
I feel like there was something there you were looking for that didn't exist too well. And unfortunately, our ever bountifully growing friend just disappointed us. So now we're gonna
I don't
see.
think anyone has actually talked to Sahasrara yet.
Nope. Only one person has the ability to, and he's currently inside Palace of Darkness. jkoper here. Let's see if he's gonna have the magic money right here. And Batman says 20 rupees. Troll.
It's not too bad. It's you know, right on the path.
Still, lol. You know, come to think of it, I don't think we've checked that ether tablet. Looks like jkoper is going to come in and do Thieves Town now himself.
You think jkoper is going to finish Thieves Town first, or is zer0rush going to finish Pod? Because they're both going to be kind of locked in this, what we know is a dead end, until they finish with these dungeons. After that, where do you think you go?
Well, I'm hoping zer0rush is within the right mindset to think that Sahasrara should be worth a visit because we have the green pendant. Beyond that, we could recheck the ether tablet because we haven't. And this is all just in theory, if we remember these things, because there's a good chance while racing, you may or may not forget that you have not been certain places after getting the right amount of stuff to do it. So, like, there's still so much more stuff they could do. And possibly there's a chance to be doing stuff better than what they're doing right now. We don't know. Like, we won't know until we see Sahasrara, who pretty much has this in the bag. Let's see here. Was there anything else special that they haven't checked yet? Pretty much just Sahasrara.
Ether and Sahasrara, yeah. I mean, of course, the king could also actually just be in Misery Mire. Wouldn't that be a delightful twist?
Alrighty, so trying to think about where else we could go that's possibly of use. I mean, we know that Thieves Town gave us the lantern, so jkoper's going to feel a little bit of a dirt moment when he finds it down here. But then again, Joke could be on zer0rush. We don't know, but zer0rush is going to be first one to make it to his boss room. So I think zer0rush is going to have the advantage here if he goes and talks to Sahasrara right after this. And there's the lantern right next to Blind. Nice fight by zer0rush finishing up. We have jkoper, who will be ascending from the basement in a moment. Again, let's see zer0rush if he actually follows through and goes straight to Sahasrara. And RNGesus' will is the Cana Samaria.
Oh,
I think we can properly say GG unless something miraculous comes up at this point in time. But I do believe that if all goes well, zer0rush firmly has the lead.
absolutely. Now, the question is, how quickly will jkoper decide to go and talk to Sahasrara? Hopefully it's the first thing on his list.
The other thing I didn't get to see real quick is, did he actually go back and check to make sure he has Quake from the library? Because he is
He does
not.
I don't think he does.
He still needs Quake, yes, so he still needs to go back to the library. So this is turning into an unfortunate moment. When we are literally talking about bleeding time. He's going over to Misery Mire right now. I think he does have it, though. Nope.
Does not have Quake.
There it
Denied.
is. The realization. And again, back now I can make this point. Legitimately bleeding time. This is where you give up so much to your opponent. Not
I don't think he ever
remembering.
actually checked the library.
This is just, ugh. This is the moment I was talking about. This is where everything's going to go so horribly long, so fast. jkoper is now frantically looking and checking. And now we're going to probably see the ether tablet, guys. I think this is the first thing he's doing. But I'm hoping that his next decision is to go back to the library. Let's see if this pays off, going up to 10 arrows. So that's a time sink.
I mean, best case scenario, it could have been there as Butter Sword.
Hmm.
And at this point, how much of a time gain is that?
Oh yeah, totally. But at this point, again, we are currently in total time sink mode.
Where is he going? Where is he going?
Why would you even contemplate this?
I don't understand what is going on here.
What? I understand he got red cane,
Oh, he
but
does have the red cane. He does have the red cane.
still, I hate to be this guy. What the actual Bombos Ether Quake are you doing? This is abandoned
Doesn't
dungeon,
know
man.
about library. Doesn't know about library. Turtle Rock has, I think, 3 or 4 chests in it.
I know, but just
This was such a close race, too. This was so close.
He is gonna be kicking himself so hard when he sees the replay. Just this unfortunate moment where I hate to be using these words, but it's the only words to describe it. Where unfortunately he began a cycle of just throwing it into the wind. And unfortunately, these come up a lot. It's just, I love close races and I love how tight they can be. It's just, unfortunately, it's just that one item that just starts the time sink. And there's no hope of coming back from that. Alrighty, so we now have zer0rush coming up at the end. He's made it to Vitreous. Pulling out that magic cape, he's gonna go in and start just flailing away. Meanwhile, we got jkoper, who's frantically trying to fight his way through Turtle Rock here. I'm waiting for the realization of the possibility of this being a lost cause. I'm hoping it's sooner than later, though, Desi. I just don't think
this
it's going
point,
to happen.
all of his eggs are in the one basket. All of his eggs are in the one basket, and he is trying to just ride that basket to something, and it's just not going to bear fruit. I don't know how many metaphors I can mix, but
Well, here's something that bears, produces, and presents plentiful fruit, and it is the gift of the 7th crystal to zer0rush, thus enabling him full access to Ganon's tower. And it is officially the beginning of the end here, as jkoper gets the big key from Turtle Rock. Now the one question that should be on jkoper's mind, and on everyone's mind at this moment, because I have not yet to see a match from zer0rush in this tournament, does he know Silverlist? Because silver arrows have yet to be discovered. Again, jkoper is just missing Quake, which is back in the library. Again, this is almost a 5-minute plus time bleed, just unfortunately being sent into despair unknowingly by jkoper here, who has yet to go back to the library after attaining Pegasus boots. Finds himself a full heart container, not even the Sank heart to make up for his troubles. Desperately trying to search Turtle Rock here. He's desperately hoping and betting on it just, being a treasure trove of paradise. Meanwhile, we have zer0rush here, who is now going to enter the Dark World via Turtle Rock and begin his ascent towards Ganon's tower. So at this point, Desi, you're zer0rush. What else could you hope for right now?
Silver arrows. That's really the thing. Silver arrows is going to be the biggest time gain. Butter sword's also pretty nice, but that's really all there is to care about.
Alright, looks like Zero is going to start his descent into Ganon's tower's basement. Get himself a heart container and the compass.
Alright, so that's 2. What do you guys think? Which chest number is it going to be that we're going to find the big key in? I'm going to go with 7 today. I think 7 is a pretty reasonable... That'll be a pretty quick key.
jkoper finding butter sword. But as far as bets go, I'm usually about 23 chests deep into Ganon's tower myself when I get it, so that's where I'm betting my eggs. But yeah, interesting moment here for jkoper. If he could remember to go to the library and get what he's missing with Buttersword, Vitrius will be such a quick fight. He has a chance to make the comeback here. While, zer0rush is
No,
stuck.
doesn't know.
Oh, just anything could happen here. Hey, we fell.
No. Oh.
So here's the problem. He knows he's messed up, but he doesn't know how bad or to which direction. And this is the worst case scenario without the worst case scenario possible. Is you're stuck in that, oh no, what have I forgotten? And literally to be defeated by literacy in of itself would be a facepalm of all times.
Could say he didn't do his homework.
I thought I'd have a good joke to go with that one, but can't top it.
He's leaving the village.
Well, we just found silver arrows.
Okay, he thinks it's in Meyer, maybe? What's going on here? Okay, he's gonna check a guy in his hideout. Oh no.
Mm-hmm. Zero has the beginning of the end without moments after. Yeah, all we're missing is that ever mythical, wonderful, delicious big key. The zer0rush showing wonderful use of what Silver Arrow can be done with the Armos Knights, blowing them all to pieces. So far, still no big key. Plenty of other rupees, though.
jkoper making shots in the dark here. Zero opting to check out the map tile room chest right away. A little bit unorthodox for most runners, but in this case, he has the time. Not that he's aware of it. And I think it is definitely fair to say that forgotten knowledge is the downfall of jkoper. Unfortunately, he doesn't realize where you go to find. It's the library. And he finally gets the Quake Medallion. Meanwhile, zer0rush making his way through the worst 4 torches room in the game, in my opinion. Those Gibdos giving him a peck of trouble. jkoper's gonna find probably straight onto go mode here in Misery Mire. He does have a slight equipment advantage over what Zero had going, so it should be pretty quick. Pretty quick romp through Misery Mire. And I actually don't even recognize this room that Zer0rush is in right now. I don't understand what is going on. Like he pulled deep from the archives for that one. Okay. Alright. And Bob with the big key. Hard to believe how easy it is to miss simple chests like that, but it happens, as we've seen in this race, quite handily. Zer0rush, I'm playing an interesting grouping strat on those mimics. And jkoper has the big key, so it is time for him to just finish off this dungeon and get on with the rest of the game. Now, Zer0rush doesn't know exactly how far ahead he is here, so I think taking the safety here is... I think it's a good play, but he's got to be looking at that timer that says 1:57 and thinking, any minute now, the other guy is going to done and put me out of my misery. Unfortunately, that is not going to happen. Unfortunately for jkoper, that is not going to happen for Zer0rush. Zer0rush is quite a commanding lead here. And it'll take a lot of gaffes on Ganon to close that gap. And yes, I think my co-commentator has hung up his horseshoes for now. Zer0rush trying to create the laggiest land mollusk fight. Meanwhile, jkoper employing the same cape strats to make Vitreous an easy battle. Oh, at some point he found silver arrows. Couple of tries on those Wizrobes, but zer0rush is finally making it through. jkoper's coming up to Ganon's tower. He's going to have about a 7-8 minute deficit, I think, by the time he gets up there and it's all said and done.
Okay, is this thing working now that it decided to do? There we go. Sorry about that. For some reason, my headset decided to mute itself beyond muting itself. I do exist.
It's okay. It's okay, I was able to cover up some of the dead air.
I do apologize. I was sitting there multitasking and then I didn't realize my thing wasn't working. Yes, I am alive. It's just... I had to quiet down a little bit because my wife is actually sleeping right directly next to me and there's no other place to go. So...
Just wait till you have kids. Then it'll be over.
We'll know that feeling in 3 months. Don't remind me now, please.
Hey, you did the same thing me and my wife did.
Rip?
Oh no.
Did the stream rip?
The stream should be back up now. So I just went ahead and refreshed mine. I'm seeing jkoper finally opening up Ganon's tower, zer0rush climbing up to the 7th floor. jkoper quite a bit behind. This looks very strongly in zer0rush's favor. I'm not gonna lie, it's gonna take some pretty strong mistakes on zer0rush's part to give this any degree of closeness.
Alright, it came back for me, and now I get to see zer0rush finishing up with Ganon on Eggman 2. Meanwhile, we have jkoper, who just started into our wonderful fun. And yeah...
I'm sorry, it sounded like you said Mega Man 2.
I definitely said Eggman 2.
Oh, we're playing that game.
I definitely went to say
that was a good Aghanim fight. Sorry.
Ganon, I'm sick of hearing about your cereal lines. Yeah, Zero here, I don't remember if he bought a potion or not, but he's in dire straits both mentally and physically in his health pools. He only has one hit he can take. Low on magic, too. This is not a good way to start this fight. Especially having to go through all this. There it is. That's why that was a bad move. Do we still have a backup fairy? Yes, we do.
No, I would definitely be concerned about the magic at this point.
Magic is definitely the biggest concern at this point. I mean, we can take a little bit hits here and there, but just... we really need to see Zero get this torch glitch in order to make some progress. Of course, if he runs out of magic, he's going to have to fall in order to refill, so...
Now, he has the silver arrows, so he could... if he's good and gets 2 doubles, he's, you know, in very good position.
Unfortunately, Ganon just gave him that wonderful opportunity for a double, But unfortunately, the lantern was... Oh!
Oh!
I was about to say high
Zero Rush.
priority.
Giving jkoper a little more breathing room. If you didn't catch it, Big Key is in the Bob chest. So if jkoper just remembers to pick up the chest, he's going to have a little quicker time going through Ganon's tower than zer0rush had.
Talk about the face hoof. But for
And
realsies.
this is tightening up the race pretty quickly.
Yes, in regards to bleeds go, zer0rush is now dangerously. Oh, jkoper here. Just made it over to see Bob had it, and he's going,
Just
yes!
barely made it. Just barely made it. I don't understand risking falling down the pit like that, but...
Here's the thing, jkoper will have a chance if he can actually manage to get through this, and zer0rush continues to muck up the fight for a little bit. But that is a very small chance of happening. So there's a good chance that, you know, jkoper could catch up. He could pull this off, or zer0rush is going to finish within the next 2 minutes, and it's going to be just too late for jkoper. This is going to be the most nerve-wracking moments of this race, and at this point in the race, this is where you start to worry. This is where you start to have the adrenaline rush. This is where you start to make mistakes. This is where you let time go to the wayside and you don't think about it. Or if you do think about it, it's scaring the living daylights out of you because you just realized, oh crap, it's this late. Where's the dot duns? Where are they? What are they doing?
jkoper entering the gauntlet. Makes pretty quick work of this first room. Second room giving a little bit of trouble. Third room looks like it's going pretty quick. Meanwhile, 0 on Ganon. Will he make the same mistake? Manages to get the torch glitch.
Gets the torch glitch, dips into his blue. This could be a risky chance. Again, he just blew a double chance to shoot Ganon for the sake of letting the torch. There's a follow-up. Nice hit. And that is hook, line, and sinker.
With his last arrow. What a fight. What a race.
What a seed. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is GG. Thank you for playing.
zer0rush with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 7 minutes, 54 seconds. Let's see if we can get him in for an interview.
Welcome, zer0rush.
Hello, how's it going?
Congratulations.
Thanks. That was.
So towards the end there. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say that was probably one of the most tilt-inducing runs I've ever had in my life.
So when you started out this run, how long did you think it was going to take to finish? Like, say, about 20 minutes in.
So right around when I started clearing the Dark World dungeons, Ice, right before Ice Palace, I would say, I knew all I really needed was the cane. I had practiced Misery Mire already in the dark, so I didn't need the lantern for that. Assuming I found the cane, I was anticipating I'd be done in the next 20, 30 minutes, but that took quite a while to find, so fortunately it didn't work.
Yeah, we saw that you made the unfortunate decision of going to Palace of Darkness before talking to Sahasrara.
Yeah.
Was that just kind of an oversight, or?
I thought about going there first, but it seemed, as weird as it sounds, shorter in my mind to just go to Dark Palace and then check the Green Pendant afterwards. But obviously that was a major mistake, so I'll have to make sure I don't do that in the future.
So, what did you feel was the one item that got away from you for almost the longest time?
Other than the cane, honestly, it would have to be the flippers or the bow. Obviously, as I found out later, they were right there. I didn't feel like it held me back that much because there was just so much going on in other parts of the game. I never really got stuck, but having those early would have made it a lot easier to path efficiently in the Dark World.
So, towards the end there, I mean, you had to be thinking, jkoper is going to be .dunny at any point now. I mean, was that going through your head as you fell on the Ganon fight?
Yeah, I mean,
was that
it? After the Dark Palace incident, I was pretty much checking SRL like every major screen transition. I was just convinced I had lost the game already, or the run, and then I got into Dark Palace or Ganon's Tower and bombed the hole before grabbing that chest, and that chest turned out to be the boss key. And then I was for sure I lost the run there. And then falling in Ganon was just, I was very frustrated at that point. It's just a mistake that added on top of everything.
So jkoper's finally getting into Ganon after actually quite an impressive Aga 2 fight, where he ended it with a triple.
Yeah, I was actually watching him stream a little bit before the run started. He was doing Ganon's Tower, and he was doing it really, really well. So that was one of the reasons I was sure I was losing at a lot of points in this race once I got into Ganon's Tower.
So jkoper got tripped up on where Quake was. He either didn't remember it was in the library, or he didn't check the library at first, or something. I'm not 100% sure. He ended up doing most of Turtle Rock.
Ooh. Yeah, fortunately that one I did remember. I actually think I grabbed that one before even checking what Misery Mire was after coming back to the Dark World, which saved me a lot of time backtracking for sure.
Yeah, it really did. I think without the book, or sorry, without Quake being such an issue, this would have been an incredibly close race and potentially with a different outcome. Looks like jkoper finished with an official time of 2 hours, 12 minutes, and 52 seconds, a mere 4 minutes, 58 seconds behind yourself. So with only a 5-minute lead, and he did almost all of Turtle Rock, plus I think a couple other things. I mean, you have to be really feeling lucky right now.
Oh yeah, for sure. Honestly, I'm glad that I won, but it's not a win I can be super happy with given the mistakes I made, especially in Ganon's Tower. After, like I said, I wasn't even aware it was possible to be that on tilt in a randomizer run, finding out that chess was the boss key. But I think I'll remember that one for a long, long time.
Yeah, that has a way of sticking in your mind. Apologies, by the way, for indirectly putting you on tilt.
That's what makes these runs so fun.
Totally. But no, for the most part, there was we were both neck and neck. And then again, the one big turning point that really started ultimately what was the beginning and the end, unfortunately, for jkoper, was I don't think he originally ever checked the library, or he checked it too quick and never remembered what it was. So when it came time to go to Misery Mire, he goes through and it's like, okay, I got this. I don't got this. I don't have it. Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's something that's tripped me up a lot on a number of runs. I had a good span of 3 or 4 runs where I got stuck finding the hammer. In my last tournament match, I got stuck finding the hammer as well, so I can relate to that one.
Okay, now that jkoper's done, let's see if we can grab him in for a quick interview.
I guess the one question I have while we wait is, at what point, looking up at the clock, besides obviously, between the major transitions of time, what was the first real moment that you decided to keep checking to see if he got done more consistently?
The second half of Ganon's Tower, I was pretty much tabbing to SRL chat every room while I was waiting, for the transition, just to see. He hadn't finished yet, so I was convinced that it was only, a matter of seconds or minutes that I was beating him by, if I was beating him at all. And it looks like my credit wheel stopped. Oh, there we go. Sorry, stream, about the credits freezing up.
I'm still waiting on a response from jkoper as to whether he wants to come in for an interview or not. So what are the bets on Zero's bonk count? What do you think, Zero?
Oh man, it had to have been a lot. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with 40.
I'm gonna say 37.
I'll be that one perfect that everyone's looking for. 69.
That would be an awful lot of bonks.
Also, by the way, saying that, shout outs to Wild Anaconda, 69. It's always interesting to see the stats at the end of the run, just because you look at them and you go, wow, I actually collected all this. And then somewhere in the back of your mind, you start to think, what would it be like to carry all this stuff? You'd figure at some point or another, that stuff gonna be heavy.
Yeah, Link does in fact have deep pockets. I've got the perfect 4 split of sword boss kills for each.
It's taking a little bit for the stream to catch up to where you're at.
Oh, okay, I won't spoil the bomb count then.
Alright.
Items pre-Ganon key. I don't even know what that is.
Oh, that's how many chests he had to open before he got the Ganon key.
21. Alright. Oh, wow. I was way
40.
off.
Wow.
Mm.
Excellent guess there.
Now for the more important question, though. 529 in time in time aid menu with a 1042 for lag.
Yeah, that is
jkoper in here.
terrible for sure. The item menu one.
Maybe. That didn't work. Okay, there he is. So, jkoper,
Hey,
tell us about the library.
library.
Yeah,
I found
what's
in my
shaking?
life that you only need to return to a library if you like checked out a book, right? So if I didn't take anything out of there and I didn't see anything I was interested in the first time, why would I have to go back? Right? Isn't that how libraries work? I don't
Right.
know.
So you popped in at the beginning, and then you saw the Quake Medallion. You thought, okay, well, the Quake Medallion's kind of shit. So
Well,
we're just gonna
I
forget what
probably
it
took
is.
note of it and I just forgot. So
Yeah, that's unfortunate. I think the difference in your time and Zero's time is actually pretty impressive when you consider all the extra running around that you did in search of the Quake Medallion.
yeah, I'm sure he didn't go into Turtle Rock.
No.
No, I did not, but I had some other fun things going on.
I'm not sure what else you could have done that I didn't do.
Actually, both of you did pod.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better.
Yeah, you didn't do it without a lamp though, did you?
No, I did not.
All right.
Yeah, I had the green pendant and went to Palace first before going to Tournament.
Oh, yeah, I would have. If I would have done.
There's
So-
Thieves Town.
I mean, I made one big mistake in this run that cost me, 10 minutes or whatever, right? But if I would have done Thieves first before going to Darkness, because I wanted to, if I was going to do a pendant dungeon, it made sense to go to Darkness and do that at the same time as doing Eastern. But if I would have done Thieves first, I would have turned in the pendant on the way into Darkness and Eastern, for sure. I'm really pretty aware of that usually. Yeah, if I would have done that and remembered about the library, that's pretty much it. I also had a hard time remembering which one dungeons were pendants. For some reason, I don't know. I was probably just stressed out, I guess, or something.
Yeah, it's very weird having all the pendants being in the dark world and the weird spots like
Yeah,
pod every run, right?
There's usually a way
it's-
that I remember which ones are which. Like I knew when I was going to pod that it was a pendant, but just like when I was planning my routing, I kept checking my map because I wanted to make sure of what I was doing. Yeah. Otherwise, a lot of this was about as expected. Boots on the pyramid is 100% what I was expecting to see there. And I wish I would have had a sword the first time I went in the castle, but that didn't make a big difference.
When you were about, say, maybe 20 minutes in and you'd gathered, I think by that point both of you had hammer and gloves, how fast did you think this seed was going to be compared to how long it actually took?
Oh, you never know, I guess. I mean, I don't make any presumptions. I guess it can depend on what you're missing. But it depends on what I'm missing and what areas I have left to check, I guess. Exactly. So, like, if I still have to do East Death Mountain and I'm missing a bunch of stuff, then I'm going to expect to find most of it there. Or maybe one or two items in the Hype Cave. Yeah. This was an interesting one, but I messed up. I don't know why I don't remember the library. I assumed that I checked it, but I barely remember checking it at this point. I must have I don't know.
Yeah, we
I
were
was
actually
probably
not sure if you checked it or not.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I did though, because I would have in that situation. Maybe not. I was probably thinking about my bomb situation at that time, because I remember I had one bomb left, and I was considering buying bombs or chancing, and I just decided to buy bombs. So yeah, well, people are telling me that I checked it, so
Well,
I guess I did.
we're getting conflicting stories. I don't remember you checking it, but you know, looking at both sides and trying to form insightful commentaries, not the easiest task. So
Yeah, well, I'm
both
guessing
of
that I
you
took a
now
very
have-
different route from zer0rush,
Yeah, go
and it probably maybe the route threw you off.
Well, there was
I would
moments.
say overall you guys took roughly the same route with just minor differences, like in order of I believe you went straight down. Is that right? I think it was one of you went straight down to like Dam first and got that area, and then came back up through the village and then to the forest, whereas the other one, you know, took the top and went down. But other than that, like the overarching route appeared to be roughly similar for both of you up until the end. So both of you, I think, have one loss now in your group. So
Yeah.
do you guys feel optimistic looking at the rest of your group as far as your chances of making it to the elimination rounds?
I mean, I can speak for myself. I don't feel optimistic whatsoever, because this is a match that I probably had to win. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be really tough. I think I have some small chance to beat John Cass, but not a big one. And the other two, I have a better chance to win. But even so, it's going to be a really good race when Croya and I race. We've been racing like several times a week here lately, and finishing really close to each other a lot. So, yeah.
So
That'll
that's
be
definitely
fun.
going to be one to look out for.
Yeah. I can tell you one thing, though, that this race kind of comes down to a last-minute rule decision that was made before the tournament started, because there were chat rules being discussed, and I guarantee I would have known that I already saw a Quake if I was able to read my chat, but I didn't. So I just looked like a silly person for a while instead.
Don't worry, man. I can't give you too much grievance without pointing out my own stupidity of, forgetting where a certain pendant was to get in somewhere before, and spending almost 40 minutes trying to find the sucker.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone who's tried to race this thing has made some sort of stupid mistake like that. I don't think anyone can really say, "Oh, this guy," you know. I think it's entirely understandable.
Oh yeah, totally.
Oh well.
So I think this bracket, like, this ended up being sort of an upset, is what it seems.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm the second seed in this bracket, but Kroy's right there with me as far as the
So
second seed.
so it looks like this group could end up having a lot of 2-2s, and that would certainly change up the math as far as who advances and who doesn't.
I don't know. Let's see here. So yeah, I'd have to beat Kroya. That's really the big one. And then it's certainly possible for there to be 3 2 and 2s in our group. We'll have to see what happens.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, well, I don't have any more questions. Do you, Sacred?
I guess the only question I can ask for each one of you individually is, what are you going to take away from this race and put towards what the races you have left?
For me, I think I need to definitely practice Ganon's Tower a lot more. That's not the first time I've made that mistake with the bomb, but it is the first time it's punished me that hard for it. So that's probably one of my weakest parts of the run at the moment, but you know, luckily there's time before my next match and I can polish up on that.
Oh, did you bomb the hole before you checked the chest?
I did, yeah, and then I cleared the entire east side of Ganon's Tower. It was literally the last chest that I checked.
Oh man. So had you not made your mistake and had I not made mine, I don't know. It would have been interesting for sure.
Yeah, I made several major mistakes. I also killed Ganon with my last silver arrow because I fell in the hole during the first fight. And,
Congrats on doing that, by the way.
yeah, that was nerve-wracking. But yeah, there, like I mentioned earlier before you joined, like I'm glad I won, but it's not a win I can feel great about because there are just so many major things that I messed up. But that's what the practice is for, and the weekend's a good time to get a lot of that in.
All right. Well, yeah. Congrats anyway. Gotta win out of the tournament at the very least. So
It was a good run.
Well then, I think
And
that
with
should...
I think we're on the same wavelength here.
Just about.
I've been Deserect.
I've been Sacred Hooves, and thank you for joining us at these late hours and enjoying all the wonderful fun here on Speed Gaming on Twitch.tv. And may the way of the hero bring you back to the Triforce in our wonderful race, which, by the way, the next one is at 10:30, which is about 7 hours from now.
Is that right? 10:30? That is not what I'm seeing on the schedule. Maybe I'm...
the people in the chat are talking about 10:30.
Oh, it's all out of order. Oh man,
Hmm.
the schedule is all.
I think a
disorganized.
lot of the schedule got changed a bit recently. But yeah, I have to go to bed as well. But thanks for commentating. Thanks for the run. Hopefully I'll get to stream for you guys again on Monday.
Thanks for the race, guys. It was a very fantastic. And thanks for watching the stream.